Murder is one of the most vicious crimes a person can commit, and justice is usually served to those who are found guilty. However, there have been cases throughout history where the killer was never caught, leaving the victim's family and the public with questions and a sense of injustice. So today we're going to take a look at people who got away with murder. In 1892, Lizzie Borden was accused of murdering her father and stepmother with an axe in their home in Fall River, Massachusetts. The case was one of the most sensational of the time, and Borden's trial was widely covered by the media. The prosecution argued that Borden had a motive to kill her father and stepmother, as she had a strained relationship with them and stood to inherit a significant amount of money upon their deaths. They presented evidence such as the bloody axe found at the crime scene and testimony from witnesses who claimed to have seen Borden near the crime scene on the day of the murders. However, Borden's defense team was able to convince the jury that there were inconsistencies in the prosecution's case and that the evidence was circumstantial. On June 20, 1893, Borden was acquitted of the murders. The verdict was met with widespread disbelief and outrage, with many people believing that Borden had gotten away with murder. The case remains one of the most controversial in American history, with many people still debating Borden's guilt or innocence. In 1995, former football star O.J. Simpson was put on trial for the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. The trial was one of the most high-profile cases in American history, with millions of people following the trial on television and in the media. The prosecution argued that Simpson had a history of domestic violence and had motive to kill Brown and Goldman. They presented evidence such as DNA and a bloody glove found at the crime scene that they argued linked Simpson to the murders. However, Simpson's defense team, led by attorneys Johnny Cochran and Robert Shapiro, was able to convince the jury that there were inconsistencies in the prosecution's case and that the evidence was mishandled. On October 3, 1995, Simpson was found not guilty of the murders. The verdict was met with widespread disbelief and outrage, with many people believing that Simpson had gotten away with murder. The case remains one of the most controversial in American history, with many people still debating Simpson's guilt or innocence. Many wealthy and famous people get away with stuff due to their status. And another person that many believe got away with murder is the famous Caitlyn Jenner, who is a part of the Kardashians family, and most recently changed genders over the past couple years. But back in February of 2015, Jenner was driving her Cadillac Escalade on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, as she would on any other day. But today, she was driving rather recklessly. As she was approaching a traffic light, she realized she was driving at an unsafe speed, so she veered into another lane and rear-ended a Lexus and a Prius sitting at the red light. The Lexus was then propelled into oncoming traffic and struck by a Hummer. Tragically, the woman in the Lexus, 69-year-old actress Kim Howe, died immediately. Investigators confirmed that Jenner was at fault for the crash. Nonetheless, Jenner and her attorney accused the woman in the Prius of causing the accident by being inattentive. Even though most cases like this would result in criminal consequences, Jenner was cleared of any charges. And even though vehicular manslaughter is often charged as a felony, Jenner wasn't even charged with a misdemeanor. These are just a few examples of cases where people getting away with murder, leaving the victims' families and the public with a sense of frustration and injustice. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to our channel and let us know if you think these people should have been arrested for these crimes.